Many thanks. It's good to have you all here. Before we start, there was an announcement about mobile phones. Would you mind just locating yours and checking it's off? And now, as you locate it, I'd like you to think, do you know what minerals are needed to actually make your phone work? More to the point, do you know where those minerals are sourced? It may come as a shock to you, it did to me, that some of the minerals in our mobile phones are actually fueling conflicts in Congo. So we actually need to source our minerals ethically. And for that, we need to have exploration geologists go and find new sources that we can say, this is where it's come from. So what my goal is tonight is, for any young budding scientists out there, I'd like to encourage you to study geology. One, because minerals are needed for everyday life, and two, because rocks are beautiful. And that's what I want to show you tonight. So as an exploration geologist, sometimes we look at the mountain scale. Sometimes we look at rocks in a hand specimen, and sometimes we look under the microscope. And that's what I want to show you tonight. How you can make a polished rock that's 30 microns thick, that's half the width of your hair, change from looking like this to looking like this in one easy step. And for that, we'll need polarizing lenses. Now, you'll all be familiar with polarizing lenses from your sunglasses, right? Light, as we understand it, as a wave, vibrates from your point source, whether that's the sun or your microscope, in all different directions. Your polarizing lens allows light that's vibrating in a single direction to pass through. So, if you break your lenses apart and place them at 90 degrees to each other, you should get no light passing through, right? Now, how does that help your exploration geologist? Well, they have a point source. They take their rock with one polarizing lens, and you get this beautiful plain polarized light image with light vibrating in a single direction. If you then take your other lens, place it at 90 degrees, that's called the analyzer, you should see a black rock, right? You don't. You see this beautiful rock with what we call interference colors. Now, why is that? Well, as light enters your crystal, it bends and it refracts. So if you've got a cubic mineral, light will be bent in two different directions, but it will actually remain in phase. Okay, it will remain in phase, and because it remains in phase, it is actually black. However, if you've got an elongated mineral, it'll actually be refracted in two different directions, and it'll be out of phase. And it's because it's out of phase that you see these beautiful interference colors in cross-polarized light. And that helps us identify one mineral from another, and that helps your exploration geologists. So next time you pick up your phone, think about how we can get companies to source their minerals ethically, and then think about the geologist who's on the ground looking at minerals and their light-bending minerals. Thanks very much.